Second period. 4-1. Jordan Eberle scores on Kerry Lettinen. That's much better. Ralph Kruger's just ecstatic right now. Hey guys, it's Targeter here, coming at you with another NHL 13 Be a GM episode. We just knocked off the Anaheim Ducks in a very tense Game 7 where Jason Spezza put the puck in the back of the net in overtime. And now we're taking on the Dallas Stars in the second round. Just take a look quickly and see if we lead anything. Eberle's up there for assists and points, so he's got 2 goals and 6 assists. Gibson is up there for goals against average, but definitely not a performance to write home about in that first round. So the second round hopefully is going to be a little bit closer in terms of the scoring. Just give me 1 sec here. Sorry about that there, guys. My apologies. All right, so let's compare teams with the compare players with the Dallas Stars. It didn't seem to matter much in the last round. We were close. We beat them on every line, and they still managed to come close. Okay, so we got the first line beat. The second line we have beat. Third line is pretty even. Fourth line we have beat. All right, I think we're still better. Vincent Cavalier plays for them, and he's an 80 overall. Defense. Top we have beat, second we have beat, third is pretty much even. We got beat by a little bit, and then we got to take a look at goaltending really quick. Lettinen is 85, so him and Gibson are very close in terms of their overalls. So I think that's probably good enough. We should be able to beat these guys. We do not have home ice advantage in this round, though. We don't have home ice. So let's jump in here, and first game in Dallas. Here we go. First period. 3-0. Oh, we're down big. Vincent Cavalier, Jordan Leopold, and Louis Eriksson all score on John Gibson in the first. Second period. 1 goal. Ryan Jones answers. Now the Oilers, he puts the Oilers in a good position to maybe score a couple goals here and make this thing close. Third period, and nothing comes of it. The Oilers even out the shot clock, so it's not to say they didn't try, but that strong first period for the Dallas Stars definitely pulled them through. The Oilers will have to look to get a better start in the first period of Game 2. All right, so Game 2 in Dallas. Here we go. First period. 3-1. This time the Oilers come out. They answer. They realize Coach Ralph Kruger said to them, boys, you know what? You need to come through in the first period. You got to shut them down. And they held them just to 1 goal and managed to put 3 in on Kerry Lettinen. Second period. 4-1. Jordan Eberle scores on Kerry Lettinen. That's much better. Ralph Kruger's just ecstatic right now. Third period to finish him off. 6-1. Antoine Vermette and Nugent Hopkins both score on Kerry Lettinen. The Oilers were all over the Dallas Stars with a 12-shot advantage on the clock as well. We go back to Edmonton, having split the game. Series tied 1-1. They want to just... Let's do our scouting here. Oops. Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. No one in the forward section that's really worth anything. They got a defense that's worth top 5. So let's scout for a month here. See what we can pull out of the hat here. All right, so third game now. The first game in Edmonton, but the third game of the series. First period of this game. Once it loads. All right, first period. 1-0. So the Oilers held the Stars off the goal, the score sheet for the most part, letting in only 1 goal. So far they've only let in 2 first period goals in the last 2 games. That's good. The Oilers can't be giving up any more 3-goal periods. Second period. 2-1. So Hall had an answer, but it was late. So it was 2-0 for the majority of the second. Well, just about the majority of the second. And Hall answered just the last second. So they can tie it up here now in Edmonton. The fans got to get behind them, though. Third period. They can't do it. 2-1 is the final. It seems like the Oilers need to get a lead in the first period. If they don't get that lead in the first period, the Dallas Stars are all over them, and they manage to shut the door with their strong defense and their strong goaltending. All right, first period, Oilers need a strong start here at home. They do. They get the 1-goal lead. All right, so far in the series, the team that has gotten the lead and held it through the first period wins the game. So let's hope that stays true. Second period. 2-0. Justin Schultz gets his second of the series on Kari Lehtinen. The Oilers have a 2-0 lead through 2 periods. Third period, and it's 4-0. Nugent Hopkins and Yakupov both score within the first 2 minutes of the period. There's no answer for the Stars. And John Gibson gets a shutout as we go to Game 5 now in Dallas. The Oilers would love to take the upper hand here. If they win this game on the road, then they can come back to Rexall Place for Game 6 and have the home team crowd behind them in an important game. First period, Oilers wanted to take the lead. And they do. They get a 2-1 lead in the first period. Jamie Benn scored first, but Jordan Eberle scored shortly thereafter, and Schultz even shorter after that to take the lead. Second period, 5-1. Justin Schultz scores a hat trick in this game. What a performance by Justin Schultz. Almost night and day compared to his regular season play. And Eberle scores as well again. So Justin Schultz with 3 goals, Eberle with 2. This top line is clicking. Third period, 6-2. Ryan Flynn, that gritty grinder, rounding out the fourth line, manages to put it by Jack Campbell, who ends up coming in for relief for Kari Lehtinen after that fifth goal in the second period. John Gibson lets in 1 in the third, but that is it. John Gibson shut the door. Shooting 50% was Justin Schultz. What a period for Justin Schultz. What a game for Justin Schultz. He now probably takes the goal scoring lead because he's got 4 or 5 now. All right, so we go to Game 6 now, back in Edmonton. Yeah, Justin Schultz has 6 goals. That's funny when your defenseman has the most goals on the team. Game 6 in Edmonton. The Oilers can stand to beat the Dallas Stars in this game. Here we go. First period of Game 6 in Edmonton. Fans behind them. 2-0. Bud Holloway and Jason Spezza both scored. Spezza set the tone early. Just 45 seconds into the period, Jason Spezza scores. And I know that fans are excited about that. Second period, 2-0 still. The Oilers look to close out the Dallas Stars here in Game 6. This would be huge for them. Third period, that's it. Blake Wheeler scored 1, but John Gibson did not let any more in after that. That entire series, the team who led through the first period end up winning the game. So the Oilers go on to round 3 now. Let's take a look at who we're going to be playing. It's probably starting on the 12th, I would think. Unless the other series ended early. Oh, maybe not the 12th? 13th. Oh, playing the Colorado Avalanche. This is interesting. Let's take a look at the stats first. Eberle and Schultz both have 6 goals, and so they're second and third respectively on the overall list. Eberle and Yakupov are up there. So Eberle's got the most points in the playoffs. Yakupov is close. Let's see how Gibson's doing now. Goals against average, and his save percentage is up there too with .935. Varlamov has a slight edge on him in both categories, just above him on both. Let's compare our teams. Colorado, we know, is going to be a good team to play against. This is our toughest challenge. This is definitely our toughest challenge. Let's take a look at Colorado. So our first line's better. Our second line is better as well. Their third line is way better because they got Stastny down the line. And their fourth line is better as well. So our top 2 lines are better than theirs, but their bottom 2 are better. So it's really going to be about whether or not secondary scoring comes into effect. Our defense is better on both the top 2 lines, and our third line is better as well. So our defense is better. Goaltending is probably pretty similar, I'm thinking. Yeah, very close. 85 each. So that's really good. I would give the advantage to us because all our defense is better and our goaltending is the same. I think defense will come into play big time in these playoffs. All right. We don't have the home ice advantage again. That didn't seem to matter in the last series, but we're playing Colorado, a divisional rival. This is a big game. This is a huge game. This is a huge series. First period, 1-1. It's tied. Hunter Shinkaruk and Taylor Hall both score late in the period for Shinkaruk, mind you. But the Oilers scored first. Let's hope that they can score first in the second and carry a lead. Second period, 3-2. Yes, Ryan Jones scores early. Anton Lander not long after that. Aaronen scored exactly, 8 seconds after Lander, but it's still a 3-2 lead for the Oilers. Hold the lead, guys. Come on. Third period, and they do. They finish Game 1 in Colorado at the Pepsi Center, at the Pepsi Can as they call it, and with the win. So it's 1-0 going into Game 2 now. The Oilers have the advantage. First period in Game 2 back at the Pepsi Can. Oh, 1-0. Mike Camilleri scores on John Gibson. Second period, no goals. The Oilers need to score. They're out shooting the Colorado Avalanche 31-19 through 2 periods. Third period, come on, get a goal, boys. And they couldn't. Hunter Shinkaruk scores, and they take game 2, 2-0. Though it now comes back to Edmonton in game 3. Here we go, guys. Game 3 against the Colorado Avalanche. It's a big deal. We got to win home games. First period, they score. Jordan Eberle beats Semyon Varlamov at 11:56 in the first. Second period, 4-0 now. Jordan Eberle scores again. Ryan Flynn and Anton Lander both score as well. We go to the third period. The shot clock definitely a little bit closer this game. Third period, and it's 5-1. Yakupov scored early, and Winchester scored on John Gibson less than 20 seconds later. But it's still not enough. The Oilers take game 3 in Edmonton. Another home game up for the Oilers. We have a 2-1 series lead. Going up 3-1 would be huge at this point. The Oilers look to take a stranglehold on this series. First period, 1-0. Jordan Eberle scores on Semyon Varlamov. Tell you, Jordan Eberle's had a great playoff. Second period, 2-0. Nail Yakupov scores early in the second. Third period to put a stranglehold on this series. And they do it. They close it out big time. Jordan Eberle scores again. Vermette and Spezza also contribute to the team's offensive production in that period and in that game. The Oilers having a great playoff now. They're up 3-1. They go back to the Pepsi can, and they're looking to eliminate the Colorado Avalanche on home ice. Here we go, guys. Fifth game of the series? Fifth game. Here we go. First period, no goals. 13-10, the Oilers lead the Colorado Avalanche on the shot clock. They're looking to take the lead, though, in the second period. Second period, 2-1. Brent Burns scores, I think, a first goal I think I've seen him score this entire playoff, and Ryan Whitney. So the defense contributing to the Oilers' cause. And Elo, he scores late in the second, but the Oilers take the lead into the third. They now have the Colorado Avalanche on the ropes, ready for elimination. The Oilers want to get to that Stanley Cup Final one more time. Third period, and they do it. Bud Holloway closes things out late in the third. You'd think that Colorado would probably pull the goalie before the minute 24 mark. Maybe they just couldn't clear the zone, and the Oilers had the upper hand on them the whole game. But there you have it, guys. The Oilers are through 3 rounds of the playoffs now into the Stanley Cup Finals again for the second year in a row. What has been the secret to this team? I really don't know. I guess maybe secondary scoring. Their third and fourth lines contributing. We've seen Bud Holloway put in a few. Anton Lander put in a few. And the Oilers are going to be playing the New York Islanders, who the Oilers seem to beat in that they beat the Islanders handedly last time during the regular season. So let's see if the Oilers can thrash the New York Islanders in the Stanley Cup Final. Guys, next time you catch me, we're going to be lifting that Stanley Cup. Oh, I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't jinx ourselves. Next time you see us, we're going to be in the Stanley Cup Finals taking on the New York Islanders with home ice advantage. We'll check you guys next time. Target audience here. You guys have a good one.